About 2 weeks of history. 2 weeks, you had two of the most historical events that we've seen since 1980. Do you think that there was a second shooter?
No.
But what did the second shooter do? Miss as well?
Say that they'd pass an assault weapons ban and everything's illegal and they make all this shit illegal. The only things that are protected are stuff that are protected under the National Firearms Act.
Do you think people really notify the ATF when they go across state lines?
They should be.
That's the rule.
Oh, yeah, my brother took a round to the back of his...
What do you guys think of Kamala? Is she hot?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
What's going on and how are you? And welcome to Shark Coast Tactical Podcast, Episode 8. I am Will Mead. I'm the owner. I'm here with my homies. I have Omer.
Hello.
Pierce Stroud.
Hello.
And the amazing Dean Carroll.
Carol. Hell yeah.
Do you go home and Sarah says, "Hello, Dean, you amazing."
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I don't know about all that. She
excited
should.
to see me is usually the dog. And
Really?
that's it. Yeah.
I bet she would disagree. You might get in trouble for that.
Maybe.
Does she watch this?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Sometimes.
Does that bum you out? Like if you ever have I mean, my wife,
My wife.
my wife. But I do, like everything I do, I'm trying to always like impress my wife, really. Like it's like it's like what, not subliminal, but like subconsciously.
Yeah,
Everything I do is really like, I'm like, hey, did you see this? I did that. Do I get points? Will you get naked later? You know?
Pretty much.
Pretty much, right? That's
That's it,
everybody.
yeah.
Is that you too, Eric? Yeah, see, I mean, like, I think every man is subconsciously, they're really just trying to impress their significant other. And I'm like, hey, did you watch the podcast? No. I usually watch it because I'm there. I know, but you weren't there. But did you watch it? I'll watch it later. You know what I mean?
I get the same answer.
Oh, is
That's
that
why
it?
she watches it sometimes, not all the time.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, everything I do, it's to, you know.
Keep her happy.
Maybe if I do this, I'll get dinner and then you'll get naked. Right? I mean, I'm sorry, fellas. That's not.
Good opener, though.
How you guys doing?
Great.
So how about 2 weeks of history? 2 weeks. 2 weeks, you had two of the most historical events that we've seen since 1980. 1981 when Reagan was shot. Like, we haven't seen two events of this size in the American political or social history. I mean, since Reagan or 1963, or since the Watergate thing. That was the
threw a
last.
shoe at Bush once.
I'm sorry.
The guy threw a shoe at Bush that one time.
Yeah, but that wasn't that big of a deal.
It was a big deal to him.
He said, you missed me.
to Pierce or
I wasn't there.
did you guys ever see when the drunk guy tried to tackle Reagan?
No.
Oh yeah, like there's one time there's
wasn't there either.
there's an old video of Reagan and he's sitting there doing a speech and this guy who looks clearly intoxicated, he's like, oh, and then you see a Secret Service guy barrel in and boom, and nail him. Have you seen that?
No.
I've never
Oh, it's
seen
pretty
that at all.
cool. Like Reagan was really good with like hecklers and like people would say shit to him and he
God,
was
I love hecklers.
he was really
Shit.
he was really good at I know he was really good at heckler and coke.
Sure, a lot of presidents were good at coke. Just didn't.
We won't say that, but no, it's
Still gonna make it the final.
2 weeks of 2 weeks of big time historical events. Like, did you see Biden stepping
Two
down?
big time historical
Yeah.
botched events.
What do you mean, see him stepping down?
He
He tweeted a
letter.
letter that he didn't sign.
right, but no, did you foresee that happening? Like,
Yeah,
did you think it was
100%.
going to happen?
I
didn't think it
thought he
was
was
gonna
going to die, but I was 100% confident he was not going to be the nominee.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they skirted the nomination to be able to put in whoever they wanted. They're like, yeah, we're going to use the old guy again. And then, like, 2 weeks after that, they're like, I don't think we're going to use the old guy. Let's use this lady. And
But they can't really use anyone you want because all the money they raise for Biden has to be used
For
his
Kamala.
yeah.
For Kamala, yeah.
$100 million.
I think it's 300.
Probably.
300 million, I think, is what I heard today.
Wow.
Did you guys did you guys hear the police report from the law enforcement in Pennsylvania?
No.
So yesterday you had the head of the Secret Service testifying in front of Congress, or not really testifying.
Yeah.
Did you guys check that out?
I did see that.
I
Did you guys see Anna Polina?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, dude! I think she's a congresswoman from the Tampa area.
Okay.
Oh my, she lit that person
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people lighting her up.
So Anna Polina is an attractive congresswoman, and I just know who she is because she's an attractive congresswoman. But this lady, I mean, lit her up like I was like Jesus Christ! Oh my God, who is this lady?
I mean, she was getting lit up from both sides. It's not often you see both sides agree on something.
Absolutely.
I mean, they look at the Secret Service team that they had at this thing for him.
So it's. I mean, there's a lot of shenanigans going on.
What in the world? Like from a tactical perspective, like what was that? At all?
The dude with the knots looked cool.
The dude with the nods and the Ultimas and they had one guy. They had one guy that looked like he was supposed to be there, and then everybody else.
Why do you have his nods on during the daytime?
That's what I was about to ask. What is the point?
What is his head? That must be a really comfy helmet.
If somebody else paid for my shit, I'd leave it attached to my helmet during the day too.
Is that the best helmet, OpScore?
That's
One of the most expensive, yeah.
There's a more expensive one than Team Wendy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Where is this?
Wendy's the good mid-grade option.
Can I get a
Let me
link?
get this.
They make that helmet in carbon fiber too.
I can't have the link?
No.
You're shaking. Why?
Can't have nice things.
They make that in carbon fiber?
Oh, yeah.
And you're just telling him this now?
No, it's fine.
Okay. It's fine.
That's the look on his face.
Carbon fiber? Whoa.
It's heavier than that one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just more impact resistant.
You've got the heaviest nods on the market. What are you worried about? How heavy your
They are
helmet is?
heavy. They're coming out light ones, though.
Oh,
Like, they could have told me before I bought the heavy ones.
I tried to tell you that.
I mean, it's. I didn't want to go buy duals from someplace else when I had duals inside the store. But that's okay.
Could have used 2 singles.
I don't. Yeah.
They are bright and they are
He loves
light.
that idea.
So, I mean, I know that you're into the idea of 2 singles, but I remind you, I'm not the most agile person. So I'm trying to I'm not. It took me till the age of 10 to learn how to snap, and I kind of forgot how to do it. Maybe even middle school, maybe even high school, and so we're trying to work 2 singles. I don't know.
Put him on a connected mount.
How did we get?
Yeah. So
we were at Biden, and then
we were just talking about how cool the one dude that looked like he was supposed to be there was.
Sorry, he started talking about his nods, and I kind of went on it.
Yeah,
Kind of out of pocket.
Good, they're heavy. They're too heavy.
They're heavy as fuck.
Wait, didn't you tell me to? You told me to take them.
Yeah, and then after you broke them the first time, I told you, hey, I think it'd be a good idea if you got 2 singles.
Well, they gave me a pretty good solid as far as the warranty return. Like they were very, very nice about the nods breaking.
I'm sure they deal with it a lot.
Sure, everybody deals with it a lot. But why was he wearing nods in the daytime?
Because
Is
he
that a
doesn't pay
thing?
for the nods.
You can always put him down if need be.
Can't you just put them in your pack and run around?
But then you have to go and attach it versus just.
Because it was going to be nighttime?
I mean,
yeah, it's like
he might-
middle of the afternoon.
What if the shooter was inside of the building and all the lights were off?
Ah, okay. I didn't really. Do you guys think the kid did that 140-yard shot with irons?
From what I heard, he had a red dot mounted on his handguard. But you're saying the police report
That's good for the 0.
said he has iron sights.
It says irons, yeah.
I saw a lot of people making fun of him because he had like an open emitter pistol red dot mounted onto his handguard.
How would you do that? Like to the side or something?
No. Like
Straight up.
It's just a little bit too far forward. It's like off his upper receiver. It's on the top rail of his handguard.
But still, do you think 140 yards is a hard shot with an open emitter
So easy.
red dot?
No.
People talk a lot about
Yeah.
oh, he missed. He didn't miss. That round would have fucking killed him. He just turned his head.
Yeah.
Alive, dead. Alive,
Yeah.
Alive,
Dead.
dead. Alive, dead.
hear him alive.
So you don't think that the 140 yards with a little red dot under duress is a hard shot?
I
mean,
on a
that's not far
human-sized
at all.
target,
Yeah,
I don't.
Trump's a
think
pretty
so.
big dude. It's not a small target.
What about adrenaline
He's
running
thick.
and stuff like that?
For sure, but again, he made the shot. The dude just turned his head.
It's close enough, I think.
He didn't miss.
I don't know if I could do that.
No,
I think you
definitely
could.
You could definitely do that.
I think you could.
I mean, I did 200 with, a red dot not too long ago in a 13-inch barrel, but that I think I'm just sitting there and trying.
It is not a difficult shot to make, especially if you're prone. He was prone. The rifle was, supported. It's not like he's freehanding that shit.
So, Pierce, when you were doing Marines and qualifying, how well could you shoot with irons, and what distance?
We got ACOGs before we had to qualify. I was in we started with irons and all the training and everything, and then they switched to ACOGs before we did the first rifle.
So you never had to qualify with irons at 300, like the story?
No, but I mean, shit, if you can see an ACOG that far, I mean, that's not that much easier.
What do you guys think of Kamala? Is she hot?
No.
What the fuck kind of question is that?
This is going.
No, I mean, I just... I thought
Where is this going?
Fuck that, I don't think she's
Okay.
hot. No, I'm trolling you.
Omar's got a thing for
Trying to get a rise out of you.
For what?
Pelosi.
Pelosi?
Have you ever seen the puppet shows with Pelosi, and they make her this guy Kyle Dunnigan has a comedy channel, and it's like Pelosi, and then there's two little skeleton hands. It's pretty funny.
I never saw that.
Now, what do you guys think of Kamala, though? What does the youth think of Kamala Harris?
I mean, I don't feel like the youth is united. It's the people that will vote blue no matter what, and they are being told that she's the greatest. And then there's the people who know her record.
I mean, I think Kamala scares the hell out of me. I get terrified. I mean, I get terrified of, because shark roast is our bread and butter, and I think that if she gets in, that she gets way more serious about gun control than Biden.
I don't think she could do anything that Biden isn't already trying to do.
Well, I kind of think that Biden has a history of not doing anything. He spent 50 years not really accomplishing anything that I know of from studying him.
made a
Yeah, what the fuck did Kamala do again? She's the border czar. Have you seen the border?
But granted,
It's in shambles.
I understand, and she told Putin, or she told that the conference she went to in Europe, she said that I see Ukraine joining NATO, and then Putin invaded the next day.
Yeah.
Because the main thing was Putin didn't want Ukraine to join NATO,
Yeah.
and for years they said we're not going to increase NATO on your border, and then she said I see Ukraine joining NATO, and Putin invaded the next day.
Who was she to make that comment? Did she speak for NATO?
The Vice President of the United States.
Vice President of the United States.
Allegedly.
But I think that it's going to definitely be an interesting 120 days.
Biden still has a nuclear football.
Yeah, 6 months.
Allegedly, I've never seen him with it.
I
He doesn't carry it.
There's a dude there's a Marine, I'm pretty sure, that follows him around everywhere he goes. That's got a briefcase that can end the world.
Do you think that you don't think that they've changed the technology of the football?
Absolutely
quote
not.
unquote. You think it's still like some briefcase with some
Yes.
guy?
If you update it, it can be hacked. The way it works is it's basically a briefcase, and like I said, the Marine carries the briefcase, and then the president has the cookie, which is basically a piece of paper with code words on it.
He's going to try to eat it. He'll break the shit up, put on
He's
some
gonna eat the cookie.
There's the football and the cookie. The cookie has
Wait,
code
what's the cookie?
The cookie is just a
The
piece of
key,
paper.
boss.
Yeah, it's just got code words in it that only the president knows, and the person on the other side of the football knows.
How does that guy know any codes?
Yeah.
He doesn't know it. That's why he's got a cookie with it written out for him.
Oh, so it's okay. And you
He's
looked
like,
into
oh
this?
shit, this is my grocery list.
Yeah, he has to ask for the football, then football connects him to whoever the fuck's on the other line, and he has to pull out his cookie and read his authentication code to the person on the other side.
Can you imagine? 1, 2.
Yeah, but no, they won't update. I mean, most of the stuff is still on fucking floppy disks, because you can't hack a floppy disk.
So you don't think Kamala would be more anti-gun versus Biden?
I
I think so.
I think she will, but I mean, what kind of traction is she going to have?
That's what I'm
That
saying.
depends on the House and the Senate.
Oh, shit.
It depends on if they retain control or if they get more control of the House and Senate and what they can pass and how much and then not to mention if they can get traction with existing Republicans. and they might be able to pass something.
Policy-wise, I personally don't think there's any difference between what Joe Biden would have done versus what Kamala would have done. At the end of the day, I don't think they're really the ones making the calls.
I'm with you, but I think that with what we saw in the past 2 weeks, I mean, everything is. You just don't know. You don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, you don't know who's really running the country. You don't know what's really possible. I mean, we saw the leader of the opposition party with an attempted assassination, and either
do you think the president really runs the country in general? Since 1963, do you think the president has as much control as the general population thinks he does?
No.
Since 1963.
I think it's since 19 whatever. I mean, I'm not sure if it's just 63. I understand the significance of you saying 63.
Yeah, but they shot him in the street.
I understand
because they didn't like him.
I get it, but I'm just and that's what I'm talking about. So if they have the power to assassinate someone in 1963, which you keep putting up for example, and what they did 2 weekends ago, and then what they did last week with him just stepping down, why can't they? Then aren't they just powerful enough to say, you know what, you've had your fun, gun rights are gone? Not through they would just eliminate gun rights, but they have the power, obviously, to do like whoever has the power to do whatever they want. Who's to say that they can't at any given time say, you know what, you vote this way, you vote that way, and we're going to get an assault weapons ban passed.
You know about the frog with the boiling water?
No, tell me.
The water made the frogs gay.
If you take a frog and you throw it into a pot of boiling water, it will jump out. If you throw the frog into a pot with lukewarm water and slowly heat it up, it will die.
Okay.
It will stay in there because it doesn't.
I know what you're saying.
It doesn't notice how it's slowly getting worse. It's not going to be It's never going to be. This is the day where everything hit the fan. It's just slowly your country looks more like Somalia.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a scary thought.
we got pirates, bud.
Not the cool part. Sadly, not the cool part.
That's a cool part.
I'd like to meet some pirates. That'd be kind of cool. I just think I'm really worried. Like I was pretty, when Trump did that debate against Biden, I was like, all right, cool, we got it, no problem. And then the assassination happened, and then he disappeared, and then Kamala raised $70 million. And she can debate. Like, I mean, granted, she's whatever you want to think about her, but she can debate, and she was a prosecutor. She went to law school, and she did it for a long time. And I fear that, and if I watched Trump's debate or Trump's speech at the RNC, and I can imagine him and Kamala getting up and then she taking a bite out of him.
Unburdened, by which that came before.
What is it? Unburdened?
It's fucking nonsense.
It's nonsense, right? Anyway, either way, it'll be busy.
It'll be busy.
It'll be busy. So we have that to look forward to. All right, so I have Luke questions.
I love Luke questions.
Okay. What do you have prepped that is not gun related right now?
Nicotine.
Food. Batteries and food.
Like, all right, so nicotine, how much nicotine do you have stashed?
Not enough.
Like, what's not enough? 5 things? Like, what do you mean? Like Zins?
A few cases of Zins, some emergency cigarettes, and as many vapes as I can afford. Yeah.
Cases. Like what?
Sleeves.
Sleeves. Okay.
A few sleeves of Zins. Emergency cigarettes when the Zins run out.
You have emergency cigarettes?
Just in case.
What kind?
Whatever the fucking cheapest kind is. They're
305s?
they're Marlboro switches. I think.
Marlboro
Those aren't
menthol
cheap.
lights.
What?
Marlboro menthol lights.
Yeah. I don't smoke them. Just in case all the vapes, the vape supply chain dries up, the Zins dry up.
So you have Zins, food,
And smokes?
like you really just have Zins.
I don't have nearly enough.
You've got Zins and smokes and you're holding out?
I'm sure he'd give you a Zins. Speaking of which.
They're for the end of the world, man. It's not here yet.
You should buy a box of Lucky Strikes.
I loved cigarettes back in the day. God, I loved them.
Yeah,
They were so tasty.
Not for me.
Did you ever smoke?
I did.
Not enough to get addicted to it, apparently.
I started smoking, I think, I shit you not, like around 11. Like I was hanging out with older folks, and I was like puffing, and then each time we would partake in the wacky weed. Like you would smoke a cigarette and you would cop a way bigger buzz. And I haven't smoked pot since I was 27. I'm 52 now, but just so you know, at home. And I got in the habit of doing it, and then a friend died when I was 13, and I bought my first pack at his funeral. And then I smoked until maybe 8 years ago. And then and right before I quit smoking, I was up to probably 2 packs of 305, the purple ones.
Oh my god,
they were so disgusting. But
holy crap!
Boy, did I
2
love
packs
cigarettes.
like a week?
2 packs a day.
A day?
40 cigarettes a day.
40 cigarettes a day,
Holy
at
crap.
least. Yeah.
I only smoke cigarettes in Turkey. They haven't invented vapes yet.
How is the tobacco in Turkey?
Fucking phenomenal.
I bet it's phenomenal.
Oh, it's so good.
Fine Turkish tobacco.
No, I got addicted to vapes here, and then when I went back, they hadn't invented it yet.
Cigarette.
So
Did you go like to the bazaar? My friend, I am looking for Zin.
dude, it was the craziest thing because it was like people were selling jewels for like a month's rent because they would just you had to bring it in from another country.
A month's rent isn't a lot in Turkey.
It was insane.
What about you, Dean? What do you have prepped?
Food, batteries, like canned food, batteries, a few MREs when you had them here. And outside of guns, I think that's really it for me.
You should start selling MREs.
Oh,
again.
matches. I got matches.
They weren't the best sellers.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
MREs you made very little money on, and they didn't move very fast.
Different times.
Food doesn't like. I've tried food a couple times selling inside the store. I've tried prep things. They don't sell very well.
Well, think about the price per meal of an MRE 5 years ago versus right now.
Look around the store and tell me where you want to put the MREs.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here, but like you get what I mean, right? Like $10 a meal was fucking insane a few years ago. $10 a meal is a fucking steal today.
It is.
I'd go for chili mac right now.
What about you, Stroud? What do you prep?
I don't have shit prepped right now. I ran out of bullets, 5.56 in its entirety at our shoot on Saturday night.
Is that bad for you?
Yeah.
Does that put you in a bad mood?
Not really. I just need more.
I know a guy who sells some.
I'm the guy that sells them.
I'll give you a deal. Ammo prices are pretty stable, though. I expected ammo to be gone by Tuesday after the assassination attempt.
It's not August yet.
It's not August yet.
Why
I
August?
Well, I heard that ammo was going to run out in August. Like I heard, it's been a wild rumor in the industry that ammo was going to be really hard to find
By the people that sell ammo?
No, by a lot of people. Like it was like a thing. I mean, everybody sells ammo, so that's kind of a loaded question. Almost every company sells ammo. You know what I mean?
Where are we on the loot questions?
We are. Do you think that there was a second shooter?
I don't know.
I
I
say
haven't studied
no.
enough for that.
No.
What did the second shooter do? Miss as well?
Maybe he's the one that hit him.
When you think Homeboy shot dusted the firefighter in the crowd?
I don't know. I just know that if there's a assassination attempt from outside forces, whether it be our government, someone else, usually it's more than one shooter. It's not
Or
one.
a little bit more competent than a 20-year-old
A little bit more
hippie
confident.
from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, just one seems. I mean, the water tower. Allegedly, there was something on the water tower, but
How far was that?
I'm not sure.
It was another 160 yards from the roof that 20-year-old kid was on.
Chip shot.
So it's.
300 yards, roughly. Yeah.
I think there was.
You think that was a second shooter?
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think that kid could hit that guy.
I think that was a pretty easy shot.
For you, you're pretty good.
What was the angle on the water tower based on the stage?
They didn't say, so I'm not
It was-
sure. 'Cause every time the water tower seems to come up in things I see, they just kind of dismiss it.
I think that to me 140 yards with iron sights would be pretty difficult. To me, with 140 yards with a generic RMR or a small red dot would be difficult to do. I think, but I mean, I don't think I'm that proficient like compared to you guys.
I think you could do it. I think you're just putting too much on it.
You hit
Sit
steel
down
it
there.
probably the other night.
You
100%.
You got to think about just how big of a difference having your rifle supported makes. Like, standing and shooting, yeah, that might be a little difficult, but if you're prone and you've got it fucking stable on the ledge, you're just putting a dot over a dude who's like 6'2". It's not that hard.
Big.
He's built like a tank.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Big dude.
He's hard to miss.
I didn't realize he was so tall.
He's thick too.
His
Yeah, I
fucking
didn't
son
know
is
that.
taller.
Yeah, his son's
Yeah.
6'5".
How tall is Trump? 6'4"?
3.
6'3"?
I think so.
Good genes.
I thought he was short for some reason.
No, no.
I hear he's over 6 foot. It's like, oh my god.
So, Omer, how was your first evening shooting night vision?
Oh, it was amazing.
Oh, you went?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I'll be
We all
chasing
went.
that high for a very, very long time.
You didn't know?
No, you didn't tell me.
We all went on Saturday.
Nice.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
We all went to the secret range,
Yeah.
and it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Except I think either my helmet was too funky or I got bug spray in my mouth
It was the helmet. It was the helmet.
because I felt like sick in the morning.
Oh.
Like I just didn't feel right.
How much water did you have on Saturday?
How much water did I have?
Yeah.
Probably 2 tumblers worth. Like those 2 tumbler things that I carry. I mean, at least probably twice.
I convinced you to get the Wendy. I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I hope so. Definitely not. I think that it feels a lot better, but
I get dehydrated faster under NODs for some reason.
Interesting. So the ability to see in the night makes you
I think
dehydrated.
it has to do with
faster?
how much more my brain has to work looking at that little screen.
So, Omar, like you've been thinking about shooting with knots for probably a long time, and what was it everything you thought it would be, and versus, or was there something surprising that you didn't think would be involved? Was it easier? What were your thoughts on it? Besides it being amazing,
Aiming through your red dot through a single tube was a lot more of a problem than I thought it would be. It's not something I'd considered before, but maybe it's just a specific PVS 14 I got, but things get very blurry when they're close to your face. And
It's because you're focused further out.
yeah, the main thing was like the blur of my housing pretty much covered everything I was looking at, and I couldn't see anything out of my left eye. So I'm tilting my head back, I'm looking through the dot, and it was very hard to see, exactly what I was looking at because it was either the reticle or the housing that was blurring it all out.
why weren't you just using a laser?
I was practicing
Shooting his
both.
handgun.
Shooting the handgun was fine. It was just I forget which one's active. There's active aiming and there's passive aiming. I think passive is the one where you're looking through your red dot.
Passive is lasers.
Passive, whatever. More difficult than I thought.
I think
I need
passive
to
is
train more
lasers.
on that.
I thought you did really well.
Thank you.
When I was using your shooting the honey badger with the red dot, I was just shooting it with my other eye.
Weren't you saying something like that to me? You wanted to try that since
Yeah. So when I first put Pierce's PVS 14 on, I had it on my off eye, and the idea that I had was I can look through my dot with my right eye, which does not have the night vision, and I can see out of my left eye, which would have alleviated the problem I had. The problem is it's not accurate because what I'm seeing out of my left eye and what I'm seeing on
That's
my
what I
right
tried
eye
to
isn't
explain to you
one-to-one.
that might happen. Like looking through 2 eyes like separately because you're trying
Yeah.
to see the environment on the left and focus your right through a
It didn't work out,
red dot. Yeah.
but it was a good idea. I tried it.
Mix up your brain. You don't know what to look at.
Thankfully, the mounts that we sell here, I could just swivel it
Yeah.
over.
Nice.
It was light enough I could see the steel through the MRO without him.
What's the best part of night vision? Or what was the best part of night vision for you shooting?
The whole thing was fucking amazing, but I don't know. Every time I would flip the nods up while still looking downrange, it would blow my fucking mind
Because it's completely dark.
because it just like all the detail that just appears when you put it back on. It's just like holy fuck,
It's amazing, right?
it's so good. And the shooting with a laser was a lot more fun than I expected. I figured it'd be fun, but it was just so natural. Just it was great. I could rant about it for way too long.
So the laser's better than the red dot.
Yeah.
Trying
Yes,
to see the red dot.
the only
That's
reason
faster.
the only reason you would do the red dot is if the people in video games that you're shooting at also have night vision, so you don't want to have a giant beam pointing right back at exactly where you're looking.
Yeah.
So near peer or peer to peer, you would definitely want to look through your red dot. So I got to train more on that. But just plinking at the range or shooting at animals like he does,
How far did you guys shoot?
I think the furthest target was 200, right?
It wasn't anything crazy.
It was great.
Nice.
It's neat. There's targets close, like there's handgun targets close. There's close-ish targets for rifles, and then there's 75 yards down, and then there's 100 yards down, and then there's 200 yards over here, and then 400 yards over there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nice.
you don't really get the good appreciation for it, and unless you like tool around there in the daytime, and then know where everything is, and then you shoot at night. But I end up never going after the far stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of playing around with the close stuff. Would you do anything differently? Different helmet?
Absolutely not. I did way too much fucking research before buying everything. Everything I have is perfect.
Cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, the only thing that I would upgrade would be the
PBS
knot
14,
itself,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's down the line because that's...
Do you think do people sell their knots after they upgrade, or what do they do?
Yeah. There's always used knots on tax swap.
Oh, it's tax swap again.
Most, from what I've seen, most good stuff on the internet sells on tax swap. I don't see anything good on like Gunbroker and shit anymore. It's
Really?
It's all tax swap. Every single Knight's armament I've seen for sale, every piece of night vision I've seen for sale, like the stuff that's actually pretty difficult to find, the stuff that's actually good most of the time, tax swap.
Are you are dealers on tax swap? Are they allowed to be on?
I'm sure they're allowed
I'll
to
fucking
be.
open an account tomorrow. I got a ton of used shit we got to get rid
I've
of.
been
The
saying that
problem
for
is
years.
the problem is tax swap. You don't buy through the website, so you would have to, you would have to give your phone number to the person inquiring about it, and then you would have to like get in contact with them and text them and shit. I don't think you'd want to do that.
Oh, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, you pay someone to do it?
Pay someone to do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Not the worst idea.
What? So you did the whole like. So it's an interesting thing with you because you came to the shop with very, very little knowledge, and then got knowledge from the gunsmith, got knowledge from working here, and then you waited until you're 21, and then you bought your first gun, your second gun, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now you've got a collection, and then you did kind of the same thing with night vision, like you researched it and stuff like that. What is there anything you would change, and any advice you can give to people who are getting into night vision?
This is something that I had a different opinion on. I always thought if you're gonna go into night vision, buy the good stuff. I've now changed my opinion to having shitty Gen 2 nods is better than having no nods.
You do not have shitty Gen 2 nods.
I think they're Gen 3.
They're
Gen
2 pluses.
2 plus. I'm saying for other people. I'm not saying for
Oh, I got you.
physically what I did, but I would rather have not the best night vision, except digital. No digital. Not the best analog night vision to get started off so you can start training, because there's a lot of stuff you don't think about. Like, moving around is a lot harder than you would think. I feel like if you get something that just works, it's not going to be the best, but you can afford it now, and then you train on moving and shooting under nods. Later down the line, it'll be pretty easy for you to sell that used nod. You will lose some money on it, but you would have gotten your good use out of it. It's,
Yeah.
one step above renting.
Where can you rent them?
No, I'm just saying, like, you buy it and sell it at a loss. Let's say you lose $400 on your investment. That's like you rented it for however many years you used it for $400.
I kind of think, like, I look at it like when I started fishing, believe it or not. Like, I look at, like, so when I started fishing, I bought fishing poles from Walmart, tackle from Walmart, and would just go and do it, as opposed to, saving for Shimano Stella. Like saving for Shimano Stella or saving for, the right, because at least you get out and go do it. And it's so much fun, and it's, you might get hit by a car walking your doggy, and then you never got a chance to go shoot at night.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Dean, how did you get into guns? Like, explain the genesis of it.
Man, that wasn't until I came down to Florida.
Did you ever think about them in
No.
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia, no, not really. They were out and about and being shot.
They were out and
so,
about in the streets.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about them that way because you always just hear them when I was younger, but that's when we moved into like New Jersey.
You would hear them, and where you grew up?
Oh, yeah, my brother took a round to the back of his dress shoe because I went to Catholic school.
What?
And we had to wear uniforms, and we were
what,
walking home from school.
From one of the nuns? What do you mean?
One of the squabbles between gangs near our school. We were walking home, and shots started being fired. One came up the block, and luckily it fell down and hit the back of his soul. Excuse me, the back of his soul and stuck in his soul.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then
And that's the brother who's a police officer?
no,
the
he
other
used to be a
brother?
Marine. It's my brother that's 2 years older. I have two older brothers.
The one that lives with you?
No, that's my younger brother. Isn't with me. But that, and then I remember with more guns in Philly, some guy was getting chased by police officers. He stole, I don't even know what kind of car that was back then. Looked like a very nice sports car. I was younger then. And they turned up our block. He jumps out because he crashes the car and into the front of someone's house, like the townhomes we lived in. Then he's running, and he's just shooting blind over his shoulder as the cops are shooting back at him up the block. And I remember looking out the window, my mom tackling me to the floor. And then a week later, I came home from school. She said, pack your favorite toys. And we were moving to New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. So after going to New Jersey, it was like no guns except like you hear like some of my friends, my dad's going hunting, and so you would see some shotguns. But getting into guns, I came down to Florida, and friends I met down here, Dean, you should get into guns, and they took me shooting. It was fun. I was like, oh, wow, this is great. It wasn't as bad as I thought, being younger and people shooting them around the city. And then I was like, I'm gonna get a gun. And I started looking around the internet, and then I came in here, actually. I went to a bunch of stores all through Sarasota. I came in here, and I loved how everything was on the wall already because I'm impatient, and I could get everything I possibly wanted at the time right off the wall.
So you lived in a pretty rough neighborhood when you were growing up in Philly?
Yeah, in West Philly, yeah. A really, really bad neighborhood.
I didn't know that.
My mom did not want us to go to public school because of that, and that's why she paid us to go to Catholic school. Not necessarily growing up Catholic, but it was just really, really bad. Really bad. Like
What part of Philly?
West Philly. 46 in Styles. I still remember. Really, really bad. All my friends, only one's still alive, and he's got a life sentence.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, all the rest are dead. Really bad area.
Really?
Yeah.
Glad you made it.
Yeah. They got me out.
The great thing about Dean is every so often he'll tell you just something crazy
Yeah.
about his life, and you have no idea. Like, what? What happened? You know what I mean?
Dean has the most amount of lore
I've done a lot. I've seen a good amount.
I've done a lot.
I like to do different hobbies, and
Like,
I
what
feel like
you were telling me something the other day about, like, I was like, what? What did you do? And yeah, but that happens a lot with you. I love that.
that's cool.
Yeah, I love that. What about you, Pierce? How did you get into guns?
Grew up in them.
Like, so when you say grew up in them, what do you mean? Like your father took you out shooting, or like what?
Yeah, since I was little. Yeah.
Did he give you, like, your first gun was a single shot 22 250, or did you have
First one that was actually mine, but it was all like hunting shotguns and rifles and stuff like that growing up.
And then how did it go after that?
I got into ARs pretty heavy before I went to the Marine Corps, and then after the Marine Corps, that was what I was into. Still am.
Were your other friends into ARs, or just it's spontaneous combustion, and you're just like, I'm going to build ARs?
I didn't start building them until after I got out.
And Omar, so you tell me the story. Like you wanted to work in a gun shop or something.
I've always been into guns, mainly because of video games.
You played video games in Turkey,
Yeah, a lot of them. PlayStation.
and first person shooter games. or-
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got really into them, and I really wanted like toy guns. And I remember, I think I was either 5 or 6 years old, but my grandma for my birthday bought me this airsoft like M4, and I was in love with it. And then my mom said, "This is no toy for a child," and she threw it away.
Oh my god.
And I got so mad at her, and she told me, "It's fine. You won't even like this stuff a year from now." I was like, I'll fucking show you. And here I am. So I've been into it for as far as I can remember, and obviously in Turkey you can't, as a child definitely not, but you can't really get guns. So I got a lot of airsoft toy guns, just played a lot of video games, watched a lot of YouTube videos, tried to learn everything I could about them, which wasn't a lot, but it was about the most I could do at the time. And then I moved here. I remember when I first came to the U.S., the number one thing on my list was go to a shooting range. I shot an AR for the first time. It was amazing.
Where did you go?
Take aim.
Take aim, and they had an AR for rent.
They had a Smith & Wesson MMP 15
Okay.
and a Daniel Defense. I didn't know what the fuck those were, so I picked the Smith & Wesson one, because it had a front sight post, and I thought that looked really cool. And I remember I was like, how much ammo can I buy? And it was like a fucking $1.50 a round or whatever. And this was right during
one of the booms, yeah.
Yeah, this was right during one of the booms. So they're like, we can only sell you 20 rounds. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, 20 rounds per person. I was like, well, I got my mom and dad here. Can I get 60? And they were like, no, 20 rounds.
Whoa.
So I went in there and I shot the 20 rounds, and it was like, it's like your first time with a stripper. It's over way too fast and it cost way too much money, but it was amazing. And yeah, here I am.
My family couldn't really afford. I think like we didn't have anything, gun related as kids, but I always liked guns. I bought one, as I explained one time. I bought one hammered. I bought a Rossi 38 Special at the gun show, a private sale, like in 1996, because I needed it for protection because it was rough back then. And one day I got into a fight with the girl I was dating, and I went to my safe and I had that Rossi, and I pulled the Rossi out and I was like, maybe I'll go try to shoot. And I called up a friend and said, hey, are you still into shooting? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, do you want to go to the range? And we went down to Knight's Trail, and I still had like the bag of reloads that I bought that day at the gun show from back in 1996, and I went through them, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is this?" I was like, "This is it," and then it just started. I went and learned everything I could about it, and now I'm here. I remember I got a conditional non-approval on a background check at the gun show. I got a conditional non-approval at trying to buy an Ishevek AK-74 from, who are they? I forget the name of the company. And I got the conditional non-approval, and they're like, yeah, because I had something on my background check at the time. And I was like, fuck, I will get every license that I can possibly can, and I will show you. And here I am.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Spite takes you a long way.
Spite will take you
Yes,
a long way.
I really want to know how my life would have ended up if my mom didn't throw that fucking airsoft M4 away.
Pierce, what's your EDC? What do you carry every day?
43X or the 42 most of the time.
How do you have it outfitted? Do you have the magazine? Do you have a knife? Like, what do you carry? What's your EDC? That was one of Luke's questions. What's your EDC?
Phone, wallet, knife, dip gun.
Dean?
Glock 43X with a hollow sun, shield arms mags, 2 shield arm mags, and usually a money clip knife.
The Microtech?
Yeah.
That little one?
Yeah, I brought to Vegas when we went, yeah.
Omer?
I have a 43X, carrying a T-Rex sidecar holster. It's got a TLR-7 sub, Holosun 507K, the little micro wing from Antimatter.
What's a micro? Oh, that thing.
Yeah, it's like a little gas pedal that folds in so you can still conceal with it. It's pretty cool. I carry a $40 Amazon knife. That's done great for me. Wallet, keys, phone. I think that's it.
You keep it sharp?
I do. I give it to Andrew whenever it gets dull, and he sharpens it up for me.
Oh, yeah.
I carry Microtech Stitch Staccato CS with Acro. I carry chain wallet from 1980 with a big ass dog chain on it, bandana, and then I have a backpack with a small carbine in it, and med kit, and bag tools.
Yeah, I guess your everyday can be a lot more broad because you come here most of the time.
What do you mean?
Like you can probably carry a rifle with you every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I'm paranoid.
Yeah, I mean,
Aren't you paranoid?
I'd say on the
Little
scale, I'd say compared to non-paranoid people, I'd be considered paranoid.
I'm pretty paranoid.
That's why I just like to be home sometimes.
I love home.
Yeah.
Do you support open carry?
Not me.
No.
Support as in, should you be able to do it? Yeah, I don't think government should be able to say anything about
Correct,
what
yeah.
you can or can't do. Do I think it's smart? No, I don't think you should open carry.
Have you been to a state where you see it?
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Is it open carry in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, just not in like Philadelphia and the cities, but in Pennsylvania, it's open carry.
Every time I've seen it, it's I definitely support open carry. Like if I think that you should have the ability to do that if you want to, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
By any means. I don't want people knowing what I have.
I think it will bring on more problems.
Yeah.
And then the times that I've seen it, like the guns aren't really that they're not guns that I would carry.
They're not guns that you would show off.
No, I mean they're not guns that I wouldn't. Yeah, it's weird. Like, so sometimes we go to different states where and we'll do like different events, and you'll see it. And you're like, whoa, and then you always think like, why would they choose that holster, and why would they choose that gun, and then, but God forbid, you ask somebody that, and then you get into a whole conversation, and then you open a Pandora's box on why and what, and or you don't want to embarrass the person by saying, why are you carrying that with that holster, and
What's freaky for me down here is seeing like security guys open carry, because most of the time,
what do you mean?
like there's certain security personnel that can open carry. Like you see them every once in a while. And, like, I'll see some dude carrying, like, a car arms with a fucking, giant blue laser in a soft holster. Just like, really? That guy gets to do that? And
Get that license.
yeah.
What is that? The G license? Do you know what that is, Pierce?
D&G.
The D&G license, where you can be that way.
Yeah, I think one of them's unarmed and one of them's armed security.
It's going to provide problems. You know what I mean? Like,
And
what
it's
if
hard
the fucking holster? Like, I mean, it's you don't know the type of holster the person's going to use, and the gun could fall, and you could have an AD. But there's, it's a whole different realm.
Or someone can take it off you.
Yeah, that's kind of more of what I see is like, if you're open carrying, do you have the situational awareness to be open carrying? Because it's really not that hard to go up on somebody and take it.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'd be more worried about somebody seeing you and wanting to do something bad and shooting you before they do something bad, just because they're the next threat over them walking up and taking your gun out of your holster.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that, yeah.
That's the argument that gets brought up the most. More than somebody just walking up and not resisting the urge to just take your gun out of your holster. It's you being the first person that they see when they want to do something fucked up. And you getting dusted because of it. When you're not even paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because you're a FUD opening carrying.
Hey, now that you've shot with night vision, is there something? Does it changed what you want to buy as far as guns are concerned? Like you probably had a pretty good idea of what the path on guns and the path on equipment that you wanted to buy. Like you probably have a like, okay, I want to do this and then this and then this, and then now you've shot with nods. Has it changed at all?
I'd say the order of things I want to get and the order I want to get them is still the same, but certain things have been pushed back now that I realize I have to spend a lot more money on the laser for this one gun that I want to buy. Because now that I have night vision, everything I own has to have a laser on it so I can shoot it at night, and those lasers are not cheap. So it's like, I really want an MP5 SD, for example, not like full-on integrated suppressor upper one, but just like one that looks like it. That's probably going to have to be pushed, or like the Car 15 clone build I wanted to do, like the fun stuff.
Oh, so you want to do a clone?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So the fun like cloning stuff has been pushed back, knowing that I need to buy more fucking lasers.
what laser did you take night shooting?
I took the Holosun LS321G, and it's great.
It worked pretty well, right?
Oh, it works. It works perfect. I think it's the best, best all-in-one device for the money. I can't justify personally spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a laser that's been neutered because of the Food and Drug Administration of all things.
Is that who does it?
Yeah, they don't want you to have a powerful laser. So
Because
everything.
why? You might cook your hamburger with it? Has the Food and Drug Administration have power over lasers?
Because you can blind somebody, and they
How's
would.
that the Food and Drug
I
Administration?
don't fucking know how it ended up with them, but the FDA regulates how powerful your IR laser can be.
The Department of Agriculture does concealed weapons permits.
That's a politics.
Yeah, but that's Department of Agriculture is state. This is Food and Drug Administration, which is federal, right?
Yes.
It was more saying what does agriculture
because, like,
have to do with
yeah.
fucking open carry?
All
But I
right.
get what you guys are saying.
When I was shooting it, I was real surprised like how well the Hollow Sun IR laser did like compared to like a D-ball. Like I was like shit. Like it's pretty good.
I'm really happy with it.
Can you notice a difference?
Like the controls are a lot easier to manipulate on the Hollow Sun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're a lot easier to understand. Like there's not that much difference I saw.
The illuminator is weaker on the Hollow Sun.
It's weaker, yeah.
But the
illuminator.
laser is.
But
very
you have an
interesting.
illuminator on your rifle.
Not yet, but I will.
Oh no, but like you would have like you can just get an illuminator on your rifle and then make up for the lacking in your health and the.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm like, I want to put lasers on everything. So like I'm like, do I buy D-balls for everything or do you just get Hollow Suns?
I'm happy with the Hollow Sun. I'm surprised. I'm excited to see what the new one they're coming out with is going to be like.
What's it called?
The Iris and the. What's the flashlight?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, you gotta get non-stain.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Why you look with that big smile? You don't want to do it?
I mean, I kind of do. Like I said to Omar, I feel like it'll be like a novelty thing. I go get them, and then
And then you never use them?
after like 6 months, you don't touch them. That's
I don't
the
know
only
about
thing
that.
I worry about. That's my biggest worry.
I can't imagine. I like it.
So I figure I'll see how long you guys kind of go, see if it stays.
Oh, so you're using us as like dummies?
yeah,
as test dummies.
pretty much.
This is a man who thought 4 months before buying his rifle that's sitting in
I'm in
front
a
of him,
thinking process right now.
Oh, you're in the thinking
Yeah.
process. I got it.
So once it all pans out, then maybe I pop in there.
What would you be doing if you weren't in the gun business, Dean?
Oh, maybe still just
Working at
Yeah,
Publix?
Publix. Still in inventory control analysis at Publix, probably.
Omar?
Customer service, probably.
Oh yeah,
I like talking to people. I like being kind to people.
it's a good skill to have. Pierce?
I don't know. I've been in this my whole adult life. I've never given it that much thought.
I looked long and hard. Like I realized I had to do something else at my last job. You know, my last job I was selling church signs over the phone, and people would talk in tongues a lot. Like it was a job. I mean, not that I have anything against people who talk in tongues, but I mean, I don't know how to talk in tongues, and it was difficult.
What do you mean by tongues?
You don't know what talking in tongues is? Oh no way, really?
Like, I'm thinking of like the Harry Potter shit where they're like.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing, but so do you know? So in America, you have Catholics and Protestants, right?
Okay.
Okay, so Protestants, you have offshoots of like, so Protestantism is anything but not Catholic, not Catholicism, and in America you have born again Christians, which is a like offshoot of Protestantism, is all under the same umbrella, but you have many churches where it's not extreme, but it's definitely out there, and in those churches a lot of them will speak in tongues. Where, like, you ever seen Borat?
Yes.
Like, and where they're like, that's talking in tongues.
Okay. Okay.
I went to a church when I was a little kid, and you would hear it, and I was so short I couldn't see, and you'd hear people and I asked my uncle, what is that, and he's like, oh, those are people from not America praying, and that's how they sound. But it was people speaking in tongues. Anyway, but I would call on people sometimes, and they would come on, Will, pray with me. I'm going to talk in tongues. And it would get like that sometimes. And so
Really, on the phone?
on the phone.
Oh, man.
On the phone, yeah.
So how long did you do that for?
I did that for 7 years.
Oh.
I did that for 7, but one day I knew that I had to do something else. And I knew a guy who opened up a t-shirt company. Or no, not a t-shirt. He opened up a computer company. And he didn't know how to work on computers. He's like, he told me, he's like, you have to get your own business. And I said, how do you do that? He's like, you just got to figure out something to sell. And I remember for 2 years I was trying to figure it out. Like, what can I do? Do I do t-shirts? And this kid I knew, his name was Bob, and he opened up a computer company called Bob Tech, and he's wildly successful. And he was like, you've got to, figure out something to sell and open up a business and do it. And I was like, all right, how do I do that? And then I thought for probably like 2 years, I probably thought like, what can I do? And I remember like getting tattooed and like saying, fuck, what can I do? You know, and I wanted to open a tattoo studio, but I can't tattoo. I can't draw. I have no artistic fucking talent. And this is before I got married. Because if I would have been married, I would just said, hey, Lori, why don't we open a tattoo studio? You tattoo people. Because she's really artistic. She can do anything. And but then I went shooting that one day, and I was like, oh, this is what I do. But if I wasn't doing this, I would be doing something entrepreneurial. Like I would probably have gotten my own gig and done something.
Yeah.
I think. Customer service, huh? I would fucking stab myself in the face.
And we're very different in that way.
It's tough, man. Like I try, but I think that's, it's a very honorable thing that you have the ability to be kind like that to people.
I just like solving problems. I like helping people.
You like to talk. What about SBR or pistol brace?
Which is better?
What would you buy something with a pistol brace only, or would you automatically
without the intention of SBRing it?
Correct.
I don't know shit all that's not an SBR.
Do you not? Wait, hold on. I'm talking to Dean.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, well, then fuck us.
Dean, go ahead. Dean first. So do you own anything right now with a pistol brace?
No.
No.
I never got into the whole pistol brace thing.
You never got into short stuff?
No. Just the one gun, and then soon I was able to SBR it, I just SBR'd it. I didn't want any pistol braces. I don't know why. I just didn't want them.
So you have one SBR and you fuck pistol braces? No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Stroud, you have none?
Yeah, I don't have anything with a pistol brace.
Is there anything that you want to buy right now that you would buy an SBR?
Not really.
There's nothing you want? Duck guns, nothing?
I'm pretty solid right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about you?
I have braces.
On what? On?
The Honey Badger is a pistol. One of my ARs is a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
I have one AR SBR. The other one's a pistol still. I mean, to me, though, the main thing is, like, one is if you're ever going to take it across state lines, which I do intend on doing. I don't want to let the ATF know when I cross state
I could
lines.
give a shit less.
And the main thing for me is,
Do you think people really notify the ATF when they go across state lines?
they should be.
That's the rule.
For me, it's not even about the stock for me, because like braces have gone so good. Like the SBA 5, the new one,
Yeah.
that thing's better than most stocks.
It's pretty nice.
What?
The SBA 5, have you fucking shouldered that thing?
Yeah, but come on, man.
Dude, that
better
thing
than
is-
of all things.
Is
like
it
they just
worth
say it's
$200 and them
they're
knowing?
they're $125 retail. It's not $200, but it is by no means.
I'm talking about the stamp. Is a stock versus the SBA 5 worth the $200 plus registering your gun?
It depends on what it's on.
For me, it comes down to foregrip. And before the
I like the foregrip.
God.
before
I love them foregrips. I'm getting
Before-
better though. I'm learning.
before the emissary handbrake came out, I really like the BCM foregrip angled forward.
Do you have a list of companies you're trying to suck off on this podcast, or does this just all come naturally?
Absolutely not. These are all things that I own and I use and I love.
What's emissary?
Emissary makes
People that make my button switch, the people that make the foregrip, the people that make they make all kinds of
They
cool
make
shit.
they make something called a handbrake, which is basically the same angle of the BCM foregrip,
Okay.
but the back part of it is hollow, so it's not a foregrip. So you just use it to brace off your hand.
Okay.
And that thing's not a foregrip, so you can put it on a pistol. As soon as that thing came out, I pretty much stopped SBRing because it does everything the foregrip would do, and the braces are good enough to where I don't really need to get a stock. Not that I'm shouldering anything.
I don't think
it's-
that's. I think that's a mute point nowadays.
Yeah.
I
Try
think you
try
can-
this on. So say that they pass an assault weapons ban and everything's illegal and they make all this shit illegal. The only things that are protected are stuff that are protected under the National Firearms Act, unless they get rid of the National Firearms Act.
That's true.
So every last swing in one of my SBRs is legal as shit
legal.
till the day I die.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I have one lower, and I can just put the other uppers on it.
I am. So I can see, the cost prohibitive nature of SBRing stuff. I understand. Like you got to pay a stamp.
But it all depends on how much the gun's worth to you.
Oh, I'm fucking SBR all the way. I'll SBR anything. Like I just bought a Strybog and first thing I did was SBR'd it.
Guns over $500, you should pay the $200 to protect it.
Yeah, I don't. If there was a gun that was $200 that I liked and I bought, in spite of you making fun of me for buying it for $200, I would still SBR it.
How much was your
Strike Log?
Your DBX?
That's one right there. It was I think 500 cost, maybe 500, and that's not a good example.
Shoot
But
real good?
it when it shoots, yeah, it's pretty good. When it shoots, it's pretty good.
Where's that one at?
It's hidden somewhere.
Is it in your backpack?
Yeah, it might be. I just hope it works really well when I can pull it back. It sometimes jams. I'm presently thinking about a replacement.
Yeah, you threw your replacement in the dirt on the range on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's probably the replacement right there. But so I am definitely like, so I understand the semantics, if you will, or the points you bring up. You bring up about not having SBRs on all your stuff. I understand, like it's cost prohibitive, $200 plus the cost of the stock. Like but for me, I mean, I can, I can afford it, and so I'll do it.
Absolutely.
I'll do it on everything that I get, and I have yet, like, so I haven't really played around with the SB. Is it SB5 now?
SB5.
It doesn't look that cool to me though.
They're stiff.
They're stiff.
They work. They're terrible pistol braces. They work great as stocks.
Right. Okay. But it's
It could be the tubes we're using.
the whole pistol. Like, so when we were selling ARs, back in the day, like, and then pistol braces came out and fucking everything exploded. And
Blade.
you had blades, but then before you had blades, you had that thing from you had the SB brace,
The SIG brace.
It was a SIG brace, and then you had blades, and then you had that thing from California. Like, if they made it in San Francisco, and I'd have to call them and buy it.
I think the first one was just the thing that like fattened up your buffer tube, but didn't have anything to shoulder. It was just a fattening. I don't know how to describe it, but
It was a big thing.
big clunky.
It was a big clunky thing.
You're talking about the what the fuck is that?
It's like a soft mod stock without the back part.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's called God, we sold 1,000 of them in here. It's something brace, and it's just the cheek weld part of the stock. Everything else on the bottom's cut off. It's called the
I see now.
That's the thing from California.
Oh, that is?
Yeah, it's from California. I'd have to call and buy it from them. They were fucking from California, and they were kind of hippie-ish.
I forget the name of it, but it's one word and then brace, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it is because we haven't sold them in 6 years. But
Braces still haven't come back like they used to be. It's a shame.
the SBA3 is the best brace that anybody's ever made.
The 5's better.
Oh my god! There's people that say the 4 is better, but we don't have to get into this right now.
I had a 4 before the 5.
That's fine. I mean, they look cool. And I haven't got the chance to really play with them, but we've got them on the new AR9s.
I will say, before I knew anything about gun laws,
Here, give me a second. Let me grab one.
Okay.
And this is the new 5 that's on there? He's grabbing?
They're stiff, especially the one on that gun he's grabbing now.
Yeah.
I was cranking on it earlier, trying to get it to loosen up.
It'd be really funny if I fucking fell like that. Right?
Yep.
It'd be funny.
Yep. How many of those Mountain Dews did you drink?
I'm on my third.
Getting loose.
So tell me about it.
I mean, it's the newest one they came out with. Again, it's very stiff. It adjusts real easily. Fun right there. There's not much to say about it. It's just,
And you think that's the best that's ever been?
so far, yeah. I'd say so. It's better than every other one I've used. One thing that's funny is the strap. Before I knew anything about the laws and what braces actually were for, I just saw a stock with this thing around it, and you had your little Shark Coast patch on it.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking cool. And I just figured that's what they were. It was just, a Velcro thing so you could put patches on it. Now that I know what they are, I mean, would you look at that and say that's not a stock?
It's a brace.
It is a brace.
Yeah,
God
me
bless
too.
America. I love this thing. I'd rather put the $200 into my light or my optic and just use that.
Really? The way it looks.
It is stiff.
though.
You like the AR-9?
Me personally,
Yeah, no, that's the new one that we just came out with.
I like this. Depending on the price point, I've always shied away from AR-9s because the only ones we've had in here were like over $1,000, and there were bogs sitting there for way less than that.
Yeah, so that's $950 with everything in a bag.
$950 with a light and the dot and the bag.
Yeah, billet upper, billet lower.
You already dropped the price?
No, I just thought that $950 was a better ring to it, and I could afford it.
You have an AR-9?
I do not.
No.
You don't. I shot yours though, and I
Yeah.
fucking loved that.
Fun.
Yeah, the price was always the prohibiting factor for me because at least of what we had in here when I was learning everything. Again, we didn't have a single AR-9 under $1,000,
Right.
and that kind of. I was like, why would I do that?
We had kits like for 9mm from 2 years ago, and then Andrew came out with upper lower sets that they OEM'd for us, and I was like, let's build some. And then we had a bunch of those because when those came out, I thought they would be a really big deal, so I bought like 100 of them or something, and I thought, well, let's just put these together and see what happens.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Did you test fire at all?
I did
How'd it shoot?
perfectly. It was fine. I mean, 5 rounds, not a huge sample size, but they work great, and they take Glock mags, and I have a lot of Glock mags, which is always a plus.
Always a plus. What PDW do you want?
I have a Honey Badger.
No,
That's a PDW.
100% a PDW.
That's a PDW. That's one of the first PDWs.
PDW on the horizon for you?
Me, no.
No.
Yeah.
And Pierce, you have no plans to buy anything else in the firearms industry, so
Show me something revolutionary that the firearms industry has put out in the last 3 years.
The Grand Power / Global Ordnance Monolith is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not out yet.
yeah, we need to get them on here. And
Yeah, that'd be
we
cool.
need to get them on here and show. So you're gonna explain what that is, Omar.
They showed it to me just over the weekend on Strabog Day, and it blew my mind because they pulled out something that I thought was a PSA Jackal, and they handed it to me, and it weighed 5 pounds, and I lost my shit. It's
Oh, you've never seen it before?
no. It was he just handed it to me, and I thought I was like, why are you handing me a fucking Jackal? I've seen a Jackal before, and I picked it up, and it was 5 pounds.
Pierce, you didn't tell him about the monolith?
I have.
I just hadn't seen it.
Oh, okay. Do you know what the monolith is?
No, so I was waiting for him to
It's-
explain it.
God, it's like the AR-180. It's got a 1913 back rail. The springs above the bolt. They make the barrel, the gas block, and the chemo mount on the front of the barrel out of one solid piece of metal. Light M-lock handguard, side charging, 5 pounds.
It's a 5-pound
Wow.
AR with a side charging handle.
Yeah.
They're T&Eing me a 12-inch SBR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's no buffer tube.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, it's got the same stock that's on my Strabo.
They told me that right now they built with the first model that he showed me. It's got a dead air chemo brick.
Yeah.
Built into the barrel, so you can't even take it off. But they said they'll make threaded and potentially cherry bomb versions.
They're not,
Potentially.
they're not there yet. That's why mine's not here yet. It's because it's going to be threaded instead of the chemo.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I just debunked his claim. He's
What's
definitely
that?
getting another firearm in the industry.
Oh, you knew.
I knew.
You knew.
Seriously,
want one.
Though, seriously though, what's the? Show me something else. Like that's not out yet. Show me something else revolutionary in the past 3 years. Look what Smith and Wesson just came out with. They added comps to the guns they already make. They revamped the old shields and they made a Zion out of the MMP line.
All right. So show me something. Your question is show me something revolutionary that the firearms industry has come out with in the past 3 years that would give you a stiffy.
Yep.
8.6
show you-
blackout fix.
Show you anything in the last 3 years that would give you a stiffy.
Yep.
And so honey badgers don't count.
No.
That's why.
8.6 blackout fix.
Because I don't like 300 blackout.
Why?
Because it doesn't have the range. Every time we've hunted with 300 blackout, it's like throwing a football and you got to arch it in there.
What about okay. So you don't like 300 blackouts because of what it does with
Range
ballistics and
limitations.
range limitations.
Yes.
Right, but wouldn't the honey badger be kind of
It's
maybe
cool.
not?
I like shooting Omar's honey badger.
What about giving you it gives me a stiffy? I mean, I like shooting honey badgers, but I'm not attacking animals from a distance.
Oh, so what was innovating about the honey badger when it came out?
Fucking works, and it's 5 inches.
No, they're sweet. I'm not Not dogging the honey badger.
super quiet, and it's really accurate at
I like the 5.56 honey badger. Just not jumping out of my wallet to spend $33,000, $3,200 on a.
Okay, so let me think, because that's a
Think about it. Think about innovation in the firearms industry lately.
it's fucking Taco Bell. Like, there's a lot of things that
They're taking stuff off the menu and then bringing it back 10 years later.
Okay, what about the Beretta Patrol?
Ooh, that blew your socks off.
I mean,
A300 came out in the
what?
last 3 years.
But to what end? Like, what would I use an A300 Patrol for right now that I don't already have something that it covers?
Hold on. All right, so Staccato CS, Staccato XC.
That's been more than 3 years, I think.
Yeah, I get real wet over compensated pistols. Let's.
No. So what about the Staccato CS?
They took the Staccato and made it smaller and snappier.
Okay, is the Staccato CS not the best handgun in its class? Like, name a better handgun that's small, and
The Staccato CS is where you want to go for revolutionary.
no, I'm just saying you're just I'm just trying to argue a point where you're saying that nothing has come out in the past couple years. That's
I made a broad blanket statement about the firearms industry being stagnant on
Stale.
coming out with new stuff. New stuff like they did like what? They revamped the Ruger American Predator. That's pretty cool. But
Big spear.
do you want me to go down that rabbit hole?
so 8.6. No.
No.
I love 8.6.
So okay, like, what about the 12-inch 8.6? What about the 8.6 round?
Show me an 8.6 bullet.
Some company called Gorilla something.
Yes.
Gorillas in the Mist. They carry them.
Show it to me.
Sean's got one. I can show it to you tomorrow.
I don't have one. What's the point? Your point is that the availability of ammo?
Yeah, but I mean that's still got range limitations. So hit it with a Win Mag, it'll do the same thing. Hit Win Mag, 300 PRC. Get into Dean's nonsense. Would
the Win Mag though be more? What
8.6 is cool. The stuff that it does, the stuff that it hits is cool, but it's not. I mean, it's a cool round.
You're trading off range for sound. That's pretty revolutionary.
So the 8.6.
The 8.6 is badass. The 8.6 is badass. It's a huge bullet that carries a lot of terminal velocity at closer distances, and then if you go supers, you can get it to go a little bit further.
Okay.
But I mean, the 8.6 is a good point, but for a lot of people, but it doesn't like necessarily get me jumping up and down on my head to go buy one.
I guess maybe I have low standards. I get happy.
It's cool. The 8.6 is cool. That's cool. All the Q stuff's super cool. I'm more behind the Q stuff than the average bear.
What about the Glock 47?
I knew you were trolling with that one.
It's a Glock 17.
That's funny.
What about the Sig Fuse? What about the Brawler?
The Brawler is pretty fucking revolutionary.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty fucking revolutionary.
I get what you're saying. It's hard to.
There's no fire under the industry right now.
Let's wait until next year.
I'm scanning the fucking walls looking for something that'll make you jump.
How's it going? There's a 308 AK up there if you're jumping at straws. No, I mean I get what you guys are saying about the Q stuff. The Q stuff's really cool. I mean that's probably the best example that anybody of us can come up with.
I mean the 365 when it came out.
I'm trying to do this without dogging the shit out of the firearms industry.
No,
right now. And I just would like some appreciation for
the
that.
365 when it came out was pretty big deal.
How's that shoot?
I mean, it shoots okay. Like when it first came out, it had a couple bit of problems.
It's better than an LCP, better than a bodyguard, worse than a Glock.
What as far as
down how well SIGs shoot again? Because there was a challenge issue.
I said I was trying to do the. Look, if any of the other guys want it, like, what are we talking about?
They do want to.
They want to take my responsibility load, and they want to watch my kids so I can come and do that stuff, and they want to get the fuck out of here.
You issued the challenge, my guy.
I didn't say when I could do it.
365 was pretty revolutionary when it came out.
Yeah, that was
Macro.
2015.
Macro was revolutionary when it came out, and that was in the last 3 years.
Macro was.
I'd say so. 17-round mag in that small of a package. That's that. The Shield Arms mag specifically, I'd say, was pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, I feel. Well,
You don't like the Macro?
I mean, it's cool, but it wasn't revolutionary. I didn't think so. I wasn't excited to see it. It was just cool.
These
I like
guys.
the CS.
guys-
But you have a C2. There's less than a half an inch difference between the length of those guns on both sides, and you cannot sit here and tell me that the C2 does not shoot better.
C2 totally shoots better.
Why don't you carry a 19 then?
As opposed to what?
The 43X.
Because I'm kind of fat and I'm a lazy bastard. He carries it outside the waistband. It's not like he conceals it. It doesn't matter one bit. He's got a P grip on his C2. That's the only reason he doesn't carry it, because it's massive. Because he's got the big laser.
I have a concealed holster for it, and I carry it concealed when I'm not here. I think that it doesn't get me. I get excited over the little things, and I like some of the stuff that's
Riz
come
3
out.
is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Danny PCC. What about that?
Where, boss? Show me the Danny PCC.
It's supposed to be orderable in August.
Orderable in August.
Yes.
We will see it next August.
Nah.
It'll be after that.
Nah.
You're right.
I bet they'll be ready.
Mr. Dean, you got any input? Anything that sparks your interest?
No, he's loving this.
Stuff new coming out? No, I'll be honest, no.
We still got that spark in our eyes, Will. We see something small and we're like, "Ooh."
Oh, wait, what about the?
I'm not gunned out.
What about the Fostech Origin?
We like those people. Is that what you want to do?
No, but it's pretty fucking revolutionary and cool. What about the Genesis 12?
Terran's shotgun?
I mean, it's the shotgun that Terran uses, but the Genesis 12 is pretty cool.
You're gonna try to ease me into this, like, yeah, we're super excited about all this stuff with magazine-fed shotguns, and that's the way you think we're gonna go?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just fucking talking.
I'm like
bro.
I'm
not here to fight you.
No, I know. I'm like the worst person when it comes to magazine-fed shotguns.
I mean, I am too, because of the Turkish revolutions that concern shotguns, but it all accounts appears to be pretty fucking cool. All right, so we're going to call it. Thank you very much for watching the Shark Coast Tactical podcast. If you can, smash the like button and follow us on our different social media. We have Instagram, Shark Coast Tactical. We have Facebook, SCT Laser and Customs. We have a website, sharkcoasttactical.com, which is Dean's territory. You can come and see our shop in Sarasota, Florida on Bee Ridge Road, and you can always email Omer at production, sharkcoasttactical.com.
I will answer very fast.
And he'll be nice.
I'll be nice.
Thank you.